You have playlist, right? Batch 49 playlist, right? So directly if you go to
Yes.
batch 49 playlist, you can see the
Okay,
video.
class 5. ఉంది.
Okay.
అంటే నేను around 3 o'clock లేకుండే.
It's already there. It's uploaded at 1 o'clock itself. Okay. This is class
అవునా?
5. If you still having confusion, go to playlists. You can check the batch 49 playlist. Okay. So if you see here, 5 videos are there. Till now, 5 videos completed. So all 5 are uploaded.
Okay అన్న. I'll go through those videos after this class.
Yes. Okay. Right. Any other questions, guys? Any questions? Any doubts?
సో ఇప్పుడు నా దాంట్లో విండోస్ సర్వర్ ఇన్‌స్టాల్ అయ్యి లేదు.
Hmm.
సో విల్ ఐ బి ఏబుల్ టు
You can create VM as discussed in the last class, not last class, last weekend class. Then, as discussed in today's
ఉంది.
morning class, you can install Windows Server operating system. Okay.
వర్చువల్ అవుట్‌లుక్ Oracle VM is already installed.
Then
After
you have to install
that,
Windows Server 2022 operating system.
okay.
Yeah. Then you have to enable the remote connections. Okay. So I just started this machine, guys. Batch 14. What is the shortcut to start this machine? What is the shortcut, guys, to start the machine? Can anyone tell me the shortcut?
Double click.
Just double click on the VM, automatically the machine will start. Okay. Right. How many users can connect to the server remotely at a time?
2 and 1 admin.
Okay, 2 users and 1 admin console. Okay, they can connect to the machine at a time. Okay, and how to install .NET framework, guys? From where we can install .NET framework in the Windows? Of course, this is not a SQL DBA related question, but I'm just asking the questions related to the morning session. Okay, from where we can install .NET framework in the server? From which tool or which
Server
window?
manager.
Yeah, server manager. Those who didn't join the class, they are answering the questions. Those who join nicely listen the classes and they are not opening their mouths. Guys, if you are having any issue to answer the question, let me know. I'll skip the question and answer session. Why to waste my time? Right, so I love interaction, guys. I don't love simply attending and chalo done once the class is completed, so close the laptop and that's it. Again next week and opening the laptop, that's not good practice to learn the course and all. It's none of my business, but still I don't like to, okay, to be silent in the class. As a trainer, it's my responsibility, guys. Even though you are elder to me also, it's my responsibility. Okay. Right, and so now we are going to install a SQL server, guys. Our environment is completely ready. Okay, so now we'll connect to the server remotely. Okay, and then so to install SQL server, first we have to copy the SQL server software, right? So I'll show you like how we'll generally attach the ISO file. In the morning session we discussed, right, how to attach the ISO file and all. So morning session we attached Windows machine, and guys, I have already shared the notes of the notes and software links to you guys. Okay, so what you can do, you can directly go to your Gmail inbox, the the Gmail that you provided to me. You can go to the Gmail, check the inbox, guys. You will get a mail from SQL DBA classes. Still, if you don't find any my mail in the inbox, check the spam folders. Mostly it will go to spam folders, guys. Okay, as the participants list is vast, so generally it will go to spam folder and all. So just check the spam folder once. Okay, right there you can see one notepad for softwares, another notepad for let me show you that as well. Okay, so some people will have doubts how to download the software. You just only gave the links, how to do that, how to download it from the links and all. So if you go to that Gmail, check in your spam folder, guys, in case if anything is there. So let me go to sent
Excuse
items.
me,
Yes, please.
sir. I have not got any
You
notes.
will get it. You will get it. Okay. Who is that? Who is speaking?
Sanikyam.
Yes. You will get it. Okay. You will get it. Right, you will get these two notes, guys, and let me check different versions are available, which one installed. Shrikant, related to what you are asking?
Related to what?
Related to a SQL
17,
server. I'll tell you which version you have to install. I'll tell you. Okay. Like this, you'll get two emails, guys. Okay. So if you open this email, so you can see this is the notes that I have shared with you guys, and this is the software link. Simply, okay, to download Windows Server, you can see this is Windows Server 2022 link. Just copy paste this link. Okay, Control C, and you can just paste this link in the browser, and you can just hit enter automatically. Okay, paste it in the browser. Okay, and you will get this option, and click on the download button. Okay, no preview available. People will feel like, sir, I am getting error. People will feel like this is an error. Okay, and you can click on download button, guys. Okay, sometimes you can see this links not look safe. Okay, do you want me to download like that? You will get it. As a professional, what you have to do, guys, try to read the whole screen again and again. Okay, don't think everything is in error only. Some people will feel, sir, I am getting this screen, don't know how to do. Generally you can see here one option, but some of the, like, sometimes when you copy the software, this kind of message will come. This link is not safe, do you want me to download, like this message. They don't read it. Simply they are going to like ask, I'm getting error while downloading this is not an error actually. Okay, this is just a warning message, that's it. You can click on download button. SQL Server 2022 will be downloaded, and you can click on download button for this Windows Server 2022 will be downloaded, guys. Okay, so this is how generally we have to download the softwares, and keep it in separate folder. Don't keep it in the downloads folder. Okay, copy to the separate location and all. It will be easy next time while attaching. Right, now the machine is ready. Now I just logged into the machine. So if I want to log into this machine directly, what is the shortcut key, guys? Directly, not remotely. I want to log into this machine directly. What will be the shortcut key?
Control and
Control.
Control. Control.
delete.
Which control?
Control delete.
Which control?
Control.
Right side
Right
control.
hand
Right control plus delete.
on
Okay,
keyboard.
so yeah, what is the command to find the IP address?
IP
IP
config.
config.
IP config. What is the command to find the server name?
Host name.
Where we have to type these commands?
CMD. Run and run.
Okay, so if you open run, then automatically you can type CMD. There you can type, okay, IP config and all. Now I'm going to check the IP address again. Why? Because sometimes IP address will keep changing, guys. Okay, so every time mostly it won't change. Okay, but sometimes it might change, so cross check it. Okay, 192.168.137.45. so this is my RDP. So you can see already the same IP address is there, 192.168.137.45. and if you click connect button, okay, automatically you will get a login screen. You have to enter the credentials here. What are different VPN softwares in the market? Different VPN softwares in the market.
Global.
Okay, right,
Token authentication also.
right. So we have Cisco AnyConnect, we have Global Protect, and we have some other tools, guys. Okay, so using these tools we can connect to the office network. Okay, we can connect to the office network. VPN is nothing but virtual private network. It will act as a bridge between your internet and your office network, guys. Okay, right. So now we are ready, guys. As per the prerequisites, we have the machine, we installed the .NET framework, everything is ready. So now I want to install SQL Server. So someone asked, sir, which version we are going to install? So generally in the organization you will get a ticket. Okay, so they will raise a ticket. So it's not like someone comes to your desk, hey Suresh, please install SQL Server 2022, like that. They don't come to your desk and they don't tell you, guys. There is a procedure. Okay, so for auditing purpose and all, right? Installation of SQL Server is like it's very easy, but company has to pay money, right? So auditing and all will be there, that the products that you are using in the organization. So they will raise a ticket as discussed. In the ticket they will mention, in the ticket they are going to attach one sheet called build sheet. What is the sheet, guys? Build sheet. So in the build sheet they will mention, guys, what kind of SQL Server software they want to they want us to install, what will be the server name, okay, what will be the instance name, what kind of ports you have to use, what kind of passwords you have to use, what kind of accounts you have to use, whatever details we need while installing the SQL Server, all these details will be there in the build sheet. In some organizations build sheet will have a complete clear picture, guys, okay, everything they are going to mention, okay, data files you have to save in this drive, log files you have to store in this drive, like that. Whatever requirements will be there while installing, all the requirements will be provided in the build sheet only. If you don't have build sheet, you can check with the user while raising a ticket. There you can see requested for, one option will be there. I'll show you at the end of the sessions. There is a separate class on ServiceNow, how to use ServiceNow, how to raise incident. At least I'll try to show you with the help of screenshots. Why? Because ServiceNow is a separate software, so at least with the help of screenshots I'm going to show you, guys. Okay, there in the requested for column, those who are requesting SQL Server 2022, you can see their name, you can ping them in the Teams or Google chat, and then you can talk to them in case if you are still having any questions, any doubts while installing SQL Server. Okay, so every detail will be provided in the build sheet, guys, right? Now I want to install SQL Server. So if I want to install any software, first of all I have to copy that software, right? You want to install VLC media player, what you will do, you will download the VLC media player and you will install it, right? You want to install Microsoft Office 365, so what you will do, if you don't have it, you will download it. If you have it, you will go to that location and you will open the setup file and you will install it. So if you don't have software, either you will copy the software from one location or you are going to download it. So in the organization we don't download it. In the organization there is a separate folder for softwares, guys, okay? All the softwares, service packs, accumulate updates, update files, patch files, everything will be copied to one common location, okay? Softwares folder will be there. In this software folders, all versions of SQL servers will be copied, and in case of any service packs, cumulative updates and all also will be copied. So what and all softwares we will use regularly, that softwares will be copied to the software folders, guys. Generally in the organization will use a shared path, guys, shared path, okay? Why? Because we cannot copy to the servers, okay? We cannot copy to the servers, guys. We cannot copy to the servers directly. It's not, it won't allow you, okay? Windows team will restrict the copy process and all. So even though we are able to copy, but it will take lot of time to copy. So that is not a good way, guys. In the organization we'll use a shared path, okay? We'll copy the shared path. You will have the shared path with you, guys. If you don't have it, you can check with your colleagues, they will give you one shared path. This shared path will be accessible from all the servers, okay? So once you got the shared path from your colleagues, you will go to the server where you want to install SQL Server. How to open shared path, guys? Go to the server, hit Windows plus R, Windows run, copy paste that particular path here, hit enter. If the path is existed, you will get that folder. If the path is not existed, you will get error like this, path not existed. Just to show you how to access shared path, there is no such path. Just to show you how to access the shared path, I just gave one random path, so of course it will throw the error. But in the organization, this is how generally we'll copy the shared path and we'll open the shared path. In that shared path, all the softwares will be there from that location, okay? You can open that folder and you can copy the softwares, guys. This is one method. Generally in the organization will follow the same method, guys. We'll copy the softwares from the shared location. I want to install SQL 22, right? So we'll copy the software from the shared location. If you don't know the shared location, you can check with your colleagues. They will update you what will be the shared location and all. How to open shared location? Go to server, open, run, just paste the shared path here. Shared path generally will be like this, okay? It will be like a server name or IP address backslash your folder's name, like that it will be. Okay, so shade path will be like this, guys. This kind of shade path will be there. So now what I am going to do, I am not going to copy from shade path. I am going to attach it. Like morning we have attached it, right? How Windows OS is attached, guys. In the morning, how we attach the Windows Server operating system. In the same way, we can attach SQL Server also. Now, if you see in the D drive, you can see, okay, in the D drive, you can see Windows Server operating system. Guys, one more thing, just want to remind you guys, never ever open the Windows 2022 directly in your laptop. Don't open this, guys. People will do this mistake. You have to, once you created the VM, you have to attach that ISO file, Windows ISO file. You have to go to storage, there you have to attach. If you try to open that Windows file, Windows Server 2022, it will ask you to install. All your data will be gone. OS will be overwritten, guys. Your existing operating system will be overwritten with the Windows 2022. Don't try to open Windows Server 2022 file. You will never ever open Windows Server 2022 file, guys. You will simply attach it and you will go to that. You will start the VM. Automatically it will show you on-screen instructions. Follow on-screen instructions so that you can install. But never ever dare to open OS, guys. I know some of the students will do these mistakes so that their existing OS will be corrupted or it will be overwritten. All your data and all will be gone, guys. You might feel like, okay, we have seen these screens, right? We have to go next, and you will install, but your existing Windows 10 will be overwritten with Windows 2022. So don't do that. Okay, now in the morning session I have attached Windows Server 2022, right? So we have already completed the installation. Now there is no use of Windows Server. Now I want to install SQL Server, so I have to replace the software. See, while using the DVD drives, once one movie is completed, what we will do, we'll remove that DVD and we'll put another DVD related to another movie, right? For another movie we'll use another DVD or we'll use another pen drive, right? So Windows 2022 is already completed. We have installed. Now there is no use of this Windows Server operating system ISO file. I'll replace this Windows Server ISO file with a SQL Server. Just click on this Windows Server. Click on, guys, any background noise coming from my side?
No.
Fine, right? Okay, fine, thank you. So I have to attach, okay, choose optical virtual optical disk file, and you can see, okay, once you downloaded the file, I gave you two links, right? So once you downloaded the files using those links, you can see files like this. Okay, this is my SQL Server 2022. Double click on this. Done. Earlier it is Windows Server, now it is SQL Server. Click OK. Where I can see this file? Can anyone tell me where I can see this file in the server? The one that just I attached, right? So where I can see that file? In which drive I can see that file?
In D drive.
Very good. Okay, if you attach any files, generally it will be attached in the D drive, guys. Earlier, if you see, it was Windows Server 2022 operating system. Now if you see, it was changed to SQL Server 2022. So if you attach anything here in the storage section, okay, in the storage section, automatically that file will be attached in the D drive. Okay, right? Now SQL Server 2022 is attached in the D drive, guys. Now open it. Okay, now we just open the SQL Server setup file, right? Right, okay. So now what we have to do, guys? We have to open setup file. For any software, we have to open setup file. This is the setup file. How to open the setup file? You can open with run as administrator. Right click. You can see lot of options. Select the second option, run as administrator. Guys, before and after installations, you have to restart the Windows Server. Again I am saying, before and after installation of SQL Server, you have to restart the Windows Server. So it's the best practice we have to follow, guys. Okay, otherwise sometimes the installation will be failed or it will be blocked. Okay, so before doing a SQL Server installation, for a clean installation, for smooth installation, always restart the machine. Machine means your server. You know, right, how to restart. Click on Windows, then you can click on power button, then you can select this one, you can choose a restart button. While restarting, whatever options are there, you can choose that option, like whatever options are there. Try to choose a planned, in the brackets planned options will be there, right? Don't choose unplanned, always choose planned, guys. Okay, and then you can restart. I'm not going to restart now, I have already restarted, right? So I'm not going to do now. So when you open setup file, this kind of window will open. What is this, guys? This is called installation center. This is called installation center. So in the installation center, you can see lot of things. You can see plan. This is called page, P-A-G-E, page. Planning page, installation page, maintenance page, tools, resources, advanced, and options. So you will get to know, we are going to learn all the things from beginning to ending, right? So each and every option you will get to know slowly, guys. At the end of the course, you will get to know all these options and all, why we are going to use, where we are going to use. So if you still want to check the hardware and software requirements, you can open this document. You can see hardware and software requirements, different hardware and software requirements you can see here. So now we are not going to use any of these options. These are kind of documents, guys. Okay, and go to installation page. There you can see first option, new SQL Server standalone installation, or add features to the existing installation. So what is meant by standalone installation? Standalone installation means if you are installing SQL Server on a normal Windows machine, a standalone building, a standalone server means a normal, just normal single server. One minute, guys. Right, okay. So standalone means a single server, single Windows machine, you can call it as a standalone. So we have two types of installations. One is standalone installation. Second one is cluster installations, standalone and cluster installations. So these cluster installations, we have a separate topic, guys. What is meant by cluster, how to set up cluster, how many types of clusters. Okay, we have a separate topic, so there we will discuss. Okay, here we are going to discuss about the installations, cluster installations and all. So now we'll discuss about standalone installation, guys. Standalone installation means installing SQL Server on a single Windows machine. On a single Windows machine is called standalone installation. So we have to choose this option, first option. Okay, new SQL Server standalone installation. right. So now you can see, I told you right, during installations and all, we have to select the specific edition. So if you want to install a free edition, you can choose either of any of these free editions. Evaluation is free for 180 days, developer edition is free, express edition is also free. So I am going to install developer edition, sorry. So if you want to install standard edition, okay, or product, this one enterprise edition, you have to give the key, guys, key, enterprise key you have to give here. Okay, so if you give the enterprise key and all, you can proceed. Okay, so I don't have enterprise edition, guys, so I'm going to use standard edition. Guys, there is no difference between installing a developer edition and enterprise edition. Only this screen you have to do small changes. If you want to install a free edition, select this option. If you want to install an enterprise edition, select this option and give the key. 16-digit key will be there. You will get this key from your team lead or your colleagues. Check with them, they are going to provide you that key register. This one will be there, container will be there. From that container they will give you one key. You can use that key to proceed with the enterprise edition installation. That is the only difference. Remaining all options are same. I'm going to install developer edition. Okay, chalo, go to next. For every software we have to choose I accept, right? Select I accept. Okay, go to next. If you see here, so let me go back. Okay, there are some checks, guys. These are called pre-checks. Your installation center will verify whether everything is looking good or not in this machine. Those checks are called pre-checks or global rules. So it will check whether we have administrator, setup administrator or not. Yes, this check is passed. Account privileges, yes, we have enough permissions. Restart computer, yes, it's already restarted. If you don't restart computer, guys, before installation, this check will be failed. How to fix, guys? If this check is failed, how to fix that issue? What is the solution to fix the issue? If this third check
Restart.
is failed,
To restart.
that's it. It is showing like restart computer is failed. So to fix this issue, cancel everything and just restart the Windows machine and reinitiate the installation. Right? Then Windows Management Institution, WMI, consistency validation, it will check the binaries and all, guys. Okay, now everything is passed. So 7 checks are there, 7 are passed. It will allow us to install even though we have warnings. Of course, it will allow us to install in case if any check is skipped. But out of these 7 checks, if one check is failed, it won't allow us to proceed further, guys. This next button will be grayed out. The next button you cannot see, it will be grayed out, guys. You cannot select that option. Okay, so all checks should be passed, or warning is also fine, or skipped is also fine, but no check has to be failed, guys. Even if single check is failed, you cannot proceed further. All are should be succeeded, passed, or warning or skipped is fine, but even though one check is failed, it won't allow us to proceed. Okay, go to next. All checks are succeeded, guys. I can proceed further. So this is Microsoft update while installing SQL Server 2022. If we have any updates on this software, do you want me to install with the updates? So generally it is recommended practice to install with the updates, but in the organization, how it is going to take the updates, guys? We should have internet connection to the server. So if we have internet connection, then only this check will work. But in the organization, no internet will be there for the servers. Why? Because hackers may hack the server. So that's why internet will be disabled in the servers. You don't get internet, guys. Okay, in the morning we discussed, right? Internet, intranet. All the servers will be connected in the intranet. Okay, but they don't connect to the public network. So there is no use of this check. We don't allow us to update while installing, so we'll uncheck this one. Okay, next. Right, product updates, of course we just uncheck it, right? So it is going to show you that error message here. So as we don't have internet connection, so automatically it will show you, it will throw you the error. Product updates and all, we don't need it. After installation, again we'll update with the latest updates, guys. So That's why during installation we don't allow to install the updates. After installation, it's our responsibility to install the updates. Okay, so after installation, post installation steps will be there. During post installation steps, any updates are there like cumulative updates, service packs and all. After installation, we'll install it again, guys. Now some other global rules like install rules are there. So it's again checked some of the things. So now Windows Firewall is showing warning. That's okay, warning will allow. But in case if this is failed, it will be grayed out. Next button will be grayed out like this back button. See, I cannot go back. So in the same way, so warning is fine, no issues. But no check has to be failed, guys. Succeeded and warning is fine. Go to next. Here we don't do anything. Azure extension from 2019 onwards, this option has been introduced from Microsoft. So we don't use any Azure extension, right? So you can uncheck this option. We are not going to integrate this instance with any Azure related stuff and also you can uncheck it. Okay, you can go to next. Right, now I told you, right, during the discussion we discussed components of SQL Server. So what are the main components of the SQL Server, guys? What are the main components of SQL Server?
Service builds.
Yes, okay. Data database engine is very important, guys. Like it's a kind of a car engine. Without engine, car cannot run, right? In the same way, without database engine, there is no use of SQL Server. So you have to install SQL Server installation means mainly you have to install database engine. It's very important. Okay, if you see here, this is actually two parts, guys. Check it carefully. No. Okay, just a minute. Let me show you. Right, okay. So this is my window and yeah. So now if you see here, there are two sections actually, okay. This is one section. This is second section. This is the specific features, guys. These are specific features, okay. These are specific features. These are shared features. Listen carefully. What is the difference between specific features and shared features? Specific features means you have to install again and again, guys. These features, if you want to install second copy of SQL servers, again you have to select these features. But shared features are not like that. Once you install, only once per machine will install this. These features are going to be shared between multiple SQL server instances. So these shared features will install only once per Windows machine. Only once per Windows machine will install. But specific features are not like that. Okay, specific features are like every time we have to install the features. Now I am installing one SQL server instance, guys. Can I install one more SQL server instance in the same machine? Instance is nothing but server. SQL server technically will call it as an instance. SQL server will call technically as an instance. Okay, instance, you can see here. Instance means one SQL server software copy is called one instance. Like that, how many instances I can install, guys?
50.
How many copies I can install in one Windows server?
32767.
Who said 32767?
Sir Romeo here.
Romeo.
Default plus 14.
So 32767 is the wrong answer, Romeo. Okay, 32767 databases we can create, not
Oh, yeah,
instances.
correct. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
so
50 can be
yes,
done, right?
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Got it.
For one Windows machine, we can install 50 SQL servers. For one Windows machine, we can install 50 SQL servers in this 192.167. Okay, what is the IP address, guys? 137.45. In this machine I can install 50 instances. Okay, I can install 50 instances. Out of this 50, 49 named instance and plus one default instance we can install. I'll tell you what is named and what is default instance, guys. Okay, right. So now I have to select the specific features. Database engine is one important feature that you have to choose. Replication is one more important feature that you have to choose. Full text is one more important feature that you have to choose. These are the specific services. If I want to install second instance, second SQL server in the same Windows machine, again I have to choose all these three. Okay, again I have to choose all these three copies, guys. Three features I have to choose. These are specific to the instance, guys. Okay, that's why I have to choose the features. Shared features, generally here no need to install the shared features, especially for SQL 2022, guys. For 2017, 2019, okay, for 2017, 2019, 2016 and all, we have to install some shared features, guys. What are those shared features? Client tools connectivity. I'll show you during SQL Server 2019 installation. Client tools network compatibility. Client tools SDK. SQL client connectivity SDK. SDK means, what is meant by SDK? What is meant by SDK, guys? Developers. No developers are there here. SDK means software development kit, guys. Okay, software development kit. Right. So for 2022, no need to install the shared features, but for 2017, 2019 and all, we have to install these four shared features. I'll show you. You can see these four shared features in this shared features screen. Okay. Now we don't have those shared features. And now from 2022 onwards, by default it is coming. So that's why no need to install separately. Right. So where I'm going to install all these components in my C drive. Sir, can I change this path to D drive? Yes. If you have D drive, you can change it. Okay, if you have D drive, some other drives you can change it, but I don't have D drive. Listen carefully. You can ask, sir, we have D drive, right? So this is not a fixed drive, guys. There are different types of drives. This is actually disk drive. Okay, this is not fixed drive. This is a fixed drive. Okay, OS drive and all, but this is not a fixed drive. It's like a removable drive. So you cannot install SQL servers on removable drives, compressed drives, encrypted drives, shared drives you cannot install, guys. Okay, so it's very important. So I can still change the path. If I have separate drives and all, I can change it to some other drives. As of now, I'll keep it as it is, C drive only. I'll keep it, guys. Okay, next.
I have one question here.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
If we are not enable the full text and semantic that search,
Very good, very
so
good.
could we
I
able
got
to
your
enable
question.
it after the installation?
Sorry.
If we are not enable the full text feature here, so could it be possible to enable that feature after the installation if we will need in the future?
Very good question. Very good question. So what is this feature it is saying?
Full text index, we are using that
Here,
for full text
here,
index
yeah,
search.
here. New SQL Server standalone installation or
Okay. Add features.
add feature. So by mistake you forgot to add one feature in the screen. Okay,
Okay.
later you can come back, you can use the same setup file, you can select that feature again for the same instance and you can proceed. No issues, you can do that later also.
Okay.
By mistake
Thanks.
if you missed it. Okay, so later also you can add the features, guys.
Yeah, I have seen that so many people, like so many SQL servers don't have the full text. That
Yes.
feature is enabled into
Yes.
the SQL server.
Yes, we can add it. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, right. Next. So for 2022, no need to select shared features, guys. But for 2017, 2019, whatever we discussed, those shared features we have to choose, guys. Right. Now this is the screen where you can choose default instance, named instance. So I told you how many instances we can install. I told you like 50 instances. 50 SQL Server software copies we can install in one machine. Out of this 50, one default instance, okay, and second one is your named instance. 49 named instances. So what is the difference between default and named instance? Functionality wise, features wise, there is no difference at all between default instance and named instance. But naming convention is different. So if you choose default instance, automatically computer name will be allocated to the SQL server. When you choose default instance, automatically computer name will be allocated to the SQL server. So computer name will be taken by the default instance. Named instances, you can give your own name. You can give any name. Some naming conventions are there, like up to 16 characters it will allow in the name. It don't allow numbers in the beginning of the name. Okay, you cannot say, you cannot tell like 49 SQL server. Okay, so it will allow numbers, but instance name has to start with a alphabets only. SQL server 49 it will allow you guys. Okay, so name has to be started with characters only, not with numbers. And it don't allow any special characters other than dollar and underscore. Only these two special characters will be allowed in the instance name. Okay, batch 49 underscore SQL server. Okay, it will allow you. Otherwise batch 47 dollar SQL server, it will allow you. Will it allow, guys? This name will be allowed in the SQL server named instance. Can we give this
No,
name?
no.
Why?
No, space.
Space it won't allow.
No. Spaces. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, space is a special character. Okay, space is a special character. I told you, right? Only these two special characters it will allow. It don't allow the spaces and all. So this is not a correct instance name. So for named instance, you have to give the name and all. For default instance, we don't give any name, guys. Computer will take the your instance will take the computer name. So now my question is, try to participate, guys. Try to tell your answers. If I install default instance, can I change it to named instance after the installation? Is it possible? Yes or no? You can type your answers. You can guess it. It's not like you should know the answer. Just guess it. You can use Inky Pinky Ponky, Aak Pak Karvepak also. Don't mind for me. Tell me any response. Yes or no? I am waiting for your response, guys.
Sorry, could
You can type your answer in the chat. Yes or no?
The question, repeat the question.
Harman, don't know. Like your voice is breaking. I'm sure it's my issue only. Can you type your question?
Okay.
so it's asking,
Please repeat once again the question.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what
okay.
he's
So,
asking.
okay, fine. So the question is this one, guys. Okay, when I install default instance, later if I want to change it to named instance, can I change my default instance to named instance? This is the question. Or named instance to default instance, can I change it? That is the question. Yes or no? Surya, please ping me from your WhatsApp number. Surya. Please ping me from your WhatsApp number, Surya. Surya Palla. Please ping me from your WhatsApp number. One minute, guys. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute, guys. Okay, chalo. Right. Fine. So most of you said correct answer, guys. 1, 2 people said wrong answer. Like I don't want to tell your names, but okay, you have already sent it to everyone, right? So Tejashwini and Vaibhav Bobde. Okay. You just said yes, but the answer is no. Okay. Those who said no, that is the correct answer. We cannot change the instance after the installation. We cannot change the default instance to named instance or named instance to default instance. Okay, it is not possible, guys. So once you install default instance, you have to carry the same. If you don't want default instance, uninstall it and reinstall a named instance. That's how we have to proceed, but we cannot change it. Okay, try, guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks for trying this. Okay, chalo. So now if you go to the server, so default instance generally it will take the computer name, right? Named instance, if you choose, you can give the name as discussed B49 SQL Server 2022, like that you can give the name, guys. Okay, if you click here instance ID means one folder will be created in your C program files Microsoft SQL Server with the instance name. Okay, if you choose default instance, a folder will be created with MS SQL Server. If you choose named instance, whatever name you will give, with that name one folder will be created in the, I'll show you the path, okay, where it is going to be created in the C drive, my program files, Microsoft SQL Server. Here it is going to be created one path, okay. Now I didn't go next, right? If I go next, automatically it will create one folder here in this location. So I'm going to choose default instance only, so it will create MS SQL Server folder here. Okay, let it be. Let me go to next. Right, now service account, guys, very important. Try to concentrate, guys. It's very simple definition. Okay, it's very simple. Try to concentrate. Okay, So what is service account? What is service account? Service account is an account which will help you to run the service. Listen carefully. What is the main responsibility of the SQL server, guys? What is the duty of the SQL server? What SQL server will do?
To store the data, retrieve the data, and
Very good. Very
Process the
basic
data.
definition. Yes, very basic definition. SQL server will be used to store. SQL server is an RDBMS software. So we'll use the software to store, to process, and to retrieve the data.
retrieve.
So what is meant by storing? How we are going to store the data? Storing means, see, for example, if I want to store this notepad, what I have to do? I have to save this notepad, right? If I save this notepad, then only it will be saved permanently, right? So if it is saved permanently, I can open whenever I want. Yes. Please
Yes.
be muted.
அங்கண்ணா சாப்பிட்டுக்கிறேன்
Please be muted.
கிளாஸ் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கான் சாப்பிட்டு சாப்பிட்டேன் பெரியம்மா
Right. Okay. So if I just save this file notepad permanently, then only I can save. I can open it at any time. I can just use this file again. So you are going to permanently save this file, right? If I don't save it, next time I cannot open this file. I cannot see the data in this. So storing means what? It will directly store this file directly into the disk, guys, in your drive, right? So storing means writing data to the disk. Agreed or not? Right? When we can store the file, guys, if it is write the data to the disk, then only we can store the data permanently, right? So storing means writing data to the disk. 1 minute, please. Hello. right? Okay, so to store, to process, to retrieve the data. Okay, storing means what, guys? Writing data to the disk. Writing data to the disk. Okay, processing is also kind of processing only. Okay, process is going to process it, is going to sort out the data and all. Retrieve means what is meant by retrieving, right, guys? Retrieve means it is going to read the data from the disk. So let me give you an example, guys. Try to understand this. This is very simple concept, but it looks like a complicated thing, but it's very simple. Imagine one Avesta antivirus is there. Avesta antivirus is there. What this antivirus will do generally? It is going to scan the files. Okay. Every file it will scan. In the database of Avesta, already it will store some virus files, guys. Okay, imagine .fgh, .ytr, .uit, .okl. Imagine these are some virus files. Okay, so Avasta, how it will work? It will go and check each and every file. It will check, guys. It will check the extension of the file. Imagine this is the notepad. Okay, what is the extension of this file, guys? .txt. So it will check whether .txt is equal to .fgh, .ytr. No, there is no such file .txt in my database. So this is not a virus file. Okay, this will skip this. The antivirus will save this file permanently. Okay, this is not a virus file and all. While scanning, if it found any of these extension files, it will mark those files as a virus files. At the end of the day, after scanning, it will prepare a report. Hey, we found these files in your C drive or D drive. Seems to be a virus file. Do you want me to delete? What we will do, we'll select delete option. It will delete, guys. So in the first step, it will scan all the files in your laptop. Scan means what? Which operation? Scan means which operation, guys? Is it read or write operation?
Reading.
Read operation. So first it will read the files. Then it is going to delete the files. Delete means which operation? Write operation or read operation?
Right operation.
Write
Right.
operation. Delete is a write operation. Who will do these things? Who will read? Who will write to the data? You will write to the disk. Who will read from the disk? Who will do that? Your service account will do that, guys. Okay, that is the responsibility of the service account. Service account will log into that particular drive, will log into that particular folder. I told you, right? It will create folder right here in this C program files. It will create folders, right? So in this folder it will log in and it will write the data, right? So who can log into the folders? Only an account can log into the folders. Which account? A service account. So service account is an account which will help you to run the service. But generally in the Windows operating system files, generally if you see here services.msc, if you see services.msc, you can see all the services that are going to be that are created in the Windows machine. You can see, guys, when you install any software, listen carefully, when you install any software, it will create some service or services. If you install Avesta antivirus, see how many services are created for Avesta antivirus. If you install SQL Server, see how many services are created for SQL Server, guys. Okay, so these are all services. Any software will run based on the service only, but service cannot log into the folders to read the data, write the data. On behalf of service, one account will be there. That account will log into that folder to read and write the data. That account is called service account. Is it clear, guys, what is service account? On behalf of this SQL server, this NT service MS SQL server is a service account. It will help to write the data to the disk, read the data from the disk. That is your service account. Is it clear, everyone? Any questions, guys? Any questions on service account?
So, sir, service count is just one.
Sorry, can we?
Service count is one for each server, like for one
Service,
instance.
service.
Yes.
For each service, there are different service accounts will be there. See, when you install any software, not only SQL Server, you can see log on as column. This log on as column is nothing but your service account column. So there are three different service accounts, guys. What are those three default service accounts? Local system, network service, local service, and network system. Okay, these are all three default service accounts. So when you install any software, you don't ask why, because Windows will allocate service accounts to each and every software, guys. We don't select any service account during installation of your VLC media player or some other softwares like Oracle VirtualBox or Avast antivirus. We don't select any service. Why? Because Windows machine will allocate one service account for that. Okay, you can see all the different service accounts here. Local system, network service, local service. See, local service, local system, network service. These are the three default service accounts. But we don't use these default service accounts. We'll go for custom service accounts. Why we don't use default service accounts? See, all services are running on local system, local service, network service, right? See, already these three people, one account is nothing but one person, one maid. Imagine one maid. Three maids are there already. These three maids are busy with all other services. But SQL Server is the high priority software, guys. If you allocate same service accounts to the SQL Server, what will be the challenge, guys? Your read and write process might become slow. So that's why I'll create my own service account. I have my own maid. So that is your service account, customized service account. Okay? Clear, guys? Chalo, okay. So that is your service account discussion, guys. Take a break, come back after 15 minutes. We'll continue the discussion. Okay.
No, can you please help us, like how the services will be slow if we don't customize?
Very simple. I'll give you one example. Okay. Say for example, now you are staying in a room. Okay. Now you are staying in one room. Okay. You are the only one person staying in the room. So we have one maid. Okay. That maid is coming daily. She is doing the work and all. She is completing the work. Okay. She is daily coming, cleaning the rooms and everything, and cleaning the utensils, washing the clothes, cooking the food and all. She is going. Now two people came to the same room. One of your friend also added to the room. Okay. So earlier she used to take 1 hour to complete all these things, right? When you are alone, she used to take 1 hour to complete all those things and all, right? Now one more person is added to the room. So can you give guarantee that she can complete all the work in within 1 hour? Can you give guarantee? No, right? So persons increased, right? So definitely earlier she took 1 hour to complete. Now two persons are there. She might took 1.5 hours to complete. Now three persons are added. Half an hour will increase, right? It will take 2 hours to complete the work. At least it will increase some, right? Why? Because the clothes and all will be increased. So definitely she will take more time. So earlier it is 1 hour to complete all your work. Now how much time it is taking when people are adding? How much time she is taking? 2 hours, right? So now imagine we have service accounts for all these services. I told you service account is the concept of Windows machine. Whatever softwares you will install in the Windows machine, every software will create one service. Okay, every software, even though if it is Avesta antivirus or Microsoft Word or some other Windows Media Player and all, every software will have some services. On behalf of that services, on behalf of that software, the services will run in the back end. Okay, so now listen carefully. See, for how many services, how many maids are there? 3 maids are there. Again, 3 more people are added using SQL Server. Again, 3 more services are added. If you are going to use same service accounts, so will it be burden on the existing accounts?
Yes.
Right? So it is going to create performance issues. So why we are installing Windows machine? For the sake of SQL Server, but SQL Server has to wait other services also to complete the write process, read process and all. Why SQL Server has to wait? That is the priority software. You have to give first priority to the SQL Server. Why it has to wait for other services to run? Right? Even though there are lot of services, only 3 service accounts are there. Local system, local service, network service, means for all these people only 3 maids are there. Again, if you are increasing 3 more services using SQL Server, again the 3 more maids are going to take care of the SQL Server, which will create some performance issues. Right? So ours is priority software, so I'll install a separate maid for me, that is called customized service account. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Right. So let me tell you again, those who don't understand service account concept, still I am trying to clear you guys. So when you install SQL Server in the Windows machine, imagine this is the Windows machine. When you install SQL Server in the Windows machine, okay, SQL Server, when you install any software, generally services will be created. Imagine this is your SQL Server. Okay, when you install SQL Server, on behalf of the SQL Server in the Windows machine, okay, 3 services will be created. 3 or more services will be created. Let's assume 3 services as of now. You will get a clarity later. Okay, how many services will be created, I'll show you later. I cannot go inside this. Control Z, Control Z again. Right, okay. Right. What? Why it is going outside? Okay, leave it. Right, okay. So imagine these are the services. So SQL Server, when you install SQL Server, so some services will be created, guys. Okay, some services will be created, like database engine service, okay, agent service, full text service, whatever features you are installing, different services will be created. As I told you, what is the responsibility of the SQL server, guys? It is going to store the data, it is going to process the data, it is going to retrieve the data. Okay, so these are the main responsibilities of the SQL server. Imagine this is the hard disk. This is the hard disk. Storing the data means you have to write the data to the disk, right? You have to write the data to the disk, right? Even processing is also same. Retrieving the data means you have to read the data from the disk. Whatever data you are storing in the SQL server, that at the end of the day the data will be stored in the disk. Disk means a drive, guys. Okay, so who will write the data to the disk, guys? Who will read the data from this disk? Who will write the data to this disk? Your service account will do it. Your SQL server cannot log into the disk, guys. On behalf of SQL server, service accounts will play a key role. These service accounts will log into the drive and they are going to write the data to the disk or read the data from the disk. So if I don't have enough permissions to log inside in this particular folder, okay, so if I don't have enough permissions, this is C drive. Okay, so if I want to log into this particular drive, I should have enough permissions, guys. Don't think I am double clicking and it is opening. As I have enough permissions, I am able to open this folder. If you don't have enough permissions, you cannot. This is called logged into the folder, guys. I just logged into the program files folder. So who will do this? Who will log into these folders? Who will write the data? Those who are having access. Who will have access to write the data? Your service accounts will do that. Is it clear, guys, now? Your service accounts will read the data from the disk, will write the data to the disk on behalf of your SQL Server services. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how service account will play a key role, guys. So we have default service accounts, we have customized service accounts. Default service accounts means local system, local service, network service. Not only SQL Server. So we have, imagine, Avesta antivirus. So for Avesta also we have different. Okay, what else? What other antivirus softwares, guys, we have? What other antivirus softwares?
McAfee.
No, it's not.
We also have Windows Defender.
Yes. Right. Okay. Imagine these are some different antivirus softwares. So when you install antivirus software, this also has to read the data from the disk, right? So who will do that? Your Avesta antivirus cannot log into the disk. On behalf of your Avesta antivirus, one service account will be logged in inside that particular drive, guys. Okay, right? So that particular account, that particular user is called a service account. On behalf of Avesta antivirus, this account will log in inside these drives and it is going to access the drives. So this is the service account of Avesta. Like that, every software will have service accounts, guys. So by default, Windows is providing 3 service accounts: local system, local service, network service. So we can use those service accounts, but what is the problem? All services are using same service accounts. So it might delay in writing the data to the disk, reading the data from the disk. So why I'll use the default accounts? I'll go for a custom accounts. I'll recruit my own maid to perform my activities and all. So that is called your customized service account. Okay. So can I change the service account, guys, after installation? Now if you see, there are some virtual service accounts created. Can I change the service accounts after installation? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Can I change the service accounts after installation? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, I can change it at any time, but I have to restart the SQL server. Okay, it's a downtime activity, right? I am going to proceed with the same virtual service accounts. Later, I'll create a custom service account, customized service account. I'll show you how to change it. You should know how to change it. So now I am going with the virtual service accounts and all. Later, I'll show you how to change the service accounts after installation. Okay. Now, change the startup type to automatic. Keep it as it is. Okay. Now go to collation settings. Collation settings means language settings, guys. just language settings. While setting up your phone, you will choose, right, which language you want to set up your phone, English, Hindi, Telugu, whatever local language. So if you choose Telugu, you can see all the options in Telugu only. If you choose English, you can see all the options in English only, like that. What is the language settings that you are going to allow for this SQL server? Whatever data you are inserting into the database, so what kind of language it is going to allow? Generally, we'll use this default collation settings. So what is the default collation settings, guys? SQL, Latin 1, General, CP1, CIAS. CP1 means code page 1, CI means case insensitive, AS means accent sensitive. Okay, if you don't want this language settings, can we change it? Yes, we can change it. Go to customize, select this option, whatever language you want, you can change it. Chinese language, Arabic language, French language, Greek language, Korean, whatever you want. Unfortunately, Hindi is not there. Okay, even Korean is also there, but don't know Hindi is not there. Okay, so generally we'll use English, guys, which is Latin. Latin means English
Is
language.
there Devanagari?
Devanagari is there, huh? Is it there? Devanagari. Danish Dari. No, I don't see anything. Is it there? Not there. Right. Fine. So I'm going to use this collation setting default Latin, guys. Latin means English language only. So like how Hindi came, like how all Indian languages came from Sanskrit, English came from Latin language, guys. So Latin one means English language only. I'll use the Latin language only. Okay. Can I change the collation settings after installation, guys? Any guess? Can I change the collation settings after installation? Can I change my language settings after installation?
No.
No, not possible. No, no, yes, yes, yes. Right, okay. Chalo. So the answer is actually no. Okay. But there are some possibilities are there to change it, but that's not a correct process, guys. So the answer is we cannot change the collation settings. Okay. There are some options like if you change the binaries and all, but that's a risky operation, risky activity. We don't do it. If you still wants to change it, we have to install new SQL server with the new collation settings, and we have to move the data from old server to new server. Okay. Chalo. Next. So next, this is the very important screen. So all the options you can see here only. After this, we can start the installation, guys. Yes, please.
Shanmukh,
Yes, yes, please.
sorry to interrupt you, but I have some doubts about the initialization setup.
Initialization setup. Which one?
Yeah, the instant. Can you go back?
Okay, okay. Instant file initialization. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Grant volume.
So-
This I'll. Yes, yes.
I have couple of doubts here. Like this setting is related to the database. This is the database instance level or the instance level.
Which one? Which one?
That grant perform volume maintenance
I'll
task.
explain you later.
This is for okay.
Yeah, this I'm going to explain you later what this option will do. Grant perform.
Yeah, I have so many doubts over there actually with that IFI.
Yes, instant file initialization. I'll let you know. Okay, why? Because not now at this moment people cannot understand. So I'll tell you
Okay.
about this option. Why? Because we'll install multiple times during our course.
Okay.
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 At any time I'll tell you. Okay.
But I have some instant doubt. Could you able to please clear it?
Yes.
Like I came to know that TD encrypted databases is not take the leverage of this option. So is it true?
TDE encrypted database that I have to check, Nirmal. Why? Because I'm not sure about this TDE and the grant perform volume maintenance. That I have to check
Okay.
and I'll update you. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Fine. Okay. So go to next. Right now here, if you see here, this is very important screen. 5 tabs will be there here. These are all important tabs only. I'll tell you. So server configuration, okay, authentication mode. So we have a separate topic called security. So in the security, we'll discuss about this authentication, authorization, login, user, permissions, roles, everything will be discussed here. I'll just give you a brief discussion about this authentication. So we have two types of authentication. One is Windows authentication. Second one is SQL authentication or mixed mode authentication. So Windows authentication means generally while logging into the SQL server, for example, if you see here, let me show you my local instance. Okay, let me check whether my local service is running or not. SQL MS SQL server, it is running. Okay, let me open SSMS. This is my local, guys, my local laptop, not server. Okay, this is my local laptop. Again, you people will confuse without installing how you got this. This is my local laptop, already installed. SQL server is already installed. So if you choose Windows authentication, you don't ask password. So guys, do you think if it is not asking password, it is a security vulnerability, right? Everyone can connect to my SQL server, right? Right or not? Let me show you. Once this SSMS opened, I can show you, will get a better idea. So but generally when you choose Windows authentication, it don't ask username and password. But how it is going to allow us to connect to the SQL server? If it is not asking username and password, anyone is able to connect to my SQL server? Anyone is able to see my data in the SQL server? The answer is no. So even though this is not asking the password or username, but by default it will take one username. What is the username, guys? When you logged into this laptop, you used one account, right? When I turn on my laptop, I used this account, Hemant account. I gave the password. If the password is correct, then Windows laptop will allow me to log in inside this machine laptop. Okay, if I gave wrong password for this Hemant account, it won't allow me, guys. So that is your Windows level authentication. If you see here, see, if you choose Windows authentication, it is not asking username and password. But if I click connect, I am able to connect. I am able to connect, guys. But don't think it is not asking username and password. If you see clearly here, let me again click on the connect button. If you see here, see it is taking Hemant username. I have already logged into this Hemant machine. How I logged into this Hemant machine? I gave my password. So Windows level it was successfully verified that I am a correct user. So that's why I am able to connect to the SQL server. That doesn't mean Windows level if you are able to log in successfully, you can connect to the SQL server. No. There is an account for Hemant in the SQL server list. If you see here this username and this username both are same, right? This username, this one and this one both are same, right? This is my token, guys. This is my token. As this Hemant account is existed in this server and this Hemant account is there here and you logged into this machine with Hemant account, so that's why you are able to connect to the SQL server. So don't think it is not asking username and password. By default it will read the OS level username. So already that user is part of my SQL server. So that's why it is allowing me to connect to the SQL server without asking any password. Why? Because already I verified as a successful user in the Windows level. So if you choose Windows authentication, it don't ask me username and password. That doesn't mean everyone can connect. Nirmal cannot connect to this machine. Why? Because there is no Nirmal in this list. There is no Harman in this list. There is no Romeo in this list. They cannot connect. If you are part of this list, then only you can connect. Hemant is part of this list. That's why Hemant is able to connect. But why it is not asking password? In the Windows level, already Hemant gave correct password. Why again it will verify the password? So that's why you don't ask any password if you choose Windows authentication. Sanjay, I'll discuss, Sanjay. Don't worry. Okay, why? Because we are discussing Windows authentication, right? Once that is done, we'll discuss about mixed mode authentication. That is your Windows authentication, right? If you choose SQL Server, Windows or mixed mode authentication, if you choose Windows or mixed mode authentication, you have to give username and password. For that also same. If you see Karthik, as Karthik is part of this account, so Karthik can connect to the SQL Server, guys. Okay. This is giving wrong password. Let me give correct password. Right. See, now Karthik is able to connect. So if I click on connect button, so instead of Karthik, if I type, okay, let me connect again. One minute. It's not responding. Right. Okay. So instead of Karthik, if I type Nirmal, Nirmal can connect to my SQL Server, guys. Or else Romeo. Why they are not able to connect, guys? Can anyone tell me? Why?
They are not present.
They are not part of this list. It will only allow who are part of this list, guys. This is like a access token kind of thing. If you are part of this list, Hemant is there. That's why it is allowing for Hemant. So somehow if Nirmal, if I created an account for Nirmal in this machine, she cannot connect to the server. Why? Because she might be user in the Windows level, not in the SQL Server level. I have to again give access to Nirmal, then only Nirmal can connect to the SQL Server. So SQL authentication means it will ask username and password, and that username should be part of the logins list. Windows authentication means it don't ask username and password. Why? Because in the Windows level already you are a successfully verified user. SQL Server will believe OS level authentication more when compared to SQL Server. Again, that's why don't ask for password. I'm sorry. Okay. Is it clear? Windows authentication, SQL authentication. Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Right. So can I change the authentication mode later, guys? Is it possible to change the authentication mode later? If I install
Yes, we
SQL
can.
Server with Windows, can I change it to mixed mode later?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, we can do it later.
We can do it, huh?
Yeah.
The answer is
Uh,
yes, please.
yeah. So no. Before going forward, no, I just want to know. Can you please get back to that screen,
Which
that
one?
Windows installation screen? Yeah.
This one, huh?
Not this. Yeah, this one. So I just want to go back. So can you please click on a back button?
Okay.
Yeah. So while no teaching, so this one I don't get it here because no, I got disconnected. So this grand perform volume maintenance
No,
task.
I didn't
So
discuss
what?
about this one. I didn't discuss about grand perform.
Okay. Okay.
We'll
Okay.
discuss in
Okay.
future, yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so go to next then. Yes, the answer is yes, I can choose authentication mode during the installation, and after installation I can change it to any mode. Generally in the organization we'll use mixed mode authentication, guys. Okay, if you choose mixed mode authentication, it will ask password for SCA account. I'll tell you what is SCA account. So SCA account is the permanent login in the SQL server. For that you have to give password and all. Initially I'll install with Windows authentication. Later I'll show you after installation how to change the authentication mode. I'll show you. You should know this thing. So that's why initially I'm going to install with Windows. So later I'll show you how to change it to mixed mode after installation. Right. This is where you have to add the users. If you add the users, click on add current user. Only a token will be created for them in the SQL server. Not others can access my SQL server. Only the persons who are there in this list can connect to the SQL server. Later, once the SQL server installation is done, Later, I will use this account to connect to the SQL server. I'll give access to others. So others also can connect to the SQL server. Is it clear now? So you have to specify during installation that who can connect to the SQL server. At least you have to add one account in the screen. Otherwise, if you don't add any account, so who can connect to the SQL server to give permissions to others? So now you know these people can connect to SQL server. In the future, some other people can be added, right, to the list. So you have to add them, right? We have to create access, right? So someone should be there to connect to the SQL server and to give the access, right? So initially I am adding this account. Later, whatever accounts you are adding in this list, they can connect to the SQL server. They will get sysadmin privileges and all. Later, once you are able to connect to the SQL server, you can add other people to the logins list, so they also can connect. Okay, in the organization generally will add SQL DBA team, so that all DBAs will connect to the SQL server, and will add service account here, so that service account is also able to connect to the SQL server. So like this we'll add it. If you don't add it, at least add one account. Later after installation you can create accounts for your DBA team and for the service account and all. Okay, right. Now data directories. So initially we will have different files, guys. After installation I will tell you. Okay, data files, log files, tempdb files, backup files. So generally in the organization we'll use different drives. Data files will store in the different data drive, log files will store in the log drive. So I'll tell you what is data drive, what is log drive, what is tempdb and all. I'll tell you, don't worry, guys. So while installing SQL server, we will get different files like data files, log files, tempdb files. So these files you can install on the same drive by, you can install the same files in different drives also. Okay, so as of now I don't have any drives, I have only C drive. I am using the C drive. In the organization we'll have D drive, E drive, F drive. So we'll change the drives. Every organization will have drive notation. All the data files will be stored in one drive, all the log files will be stored in one drive, all the backup files will be stored in one drive. So like that they are going to change the drive letters, guys. This will be discussed during the Active Directory installation. Okay, there I'll show you. We'll create separate drives and there I'll show you. During cluster setup I'll show you. TempDB is one special database which is a powerful system database. It will allow us to process the database. So from 2019 or 2017 onwards, you can set up the TempDB during the installation itself. If you don't set up, nothing will happen after installation. Also you can set up the TempDB. So TempDB you can give separate drive to store the files and all. What is TempDB? Everything will be discussed during system database discussion topic. So nothing to worry. Here I am not going to change anything. Maxed up memory settings are some settings that will be helpful for the performance tuning and all. So as of now we are not going to touch these values. During the performance tuning sessions I'll tell you what is maxed up, what is memory, everything will be discussed. File stream is one extra option for the video related content like YouTube, Netflix. Blob data like a binary large object of data, so like video files and all will be there, right? So if you want to store video content related data, we'll use file stream option, otherwise we don't use this option. Okay, right? And go to next. Chalo guys, we came to the end of the screen. So now we are ready. So now what SQL server will do, you know? Actually SQL server don't know the GUI. This is your GUI, right? So we selected lot of options, developer option is selected, and action is equal to install, and PowerShell 3.0 will be installed, C++ distributors will be installed. Features, we selected database engine, replication, full text, instance name we gave, instance ID we gave, shared components we gave, service account we gave, all those things we gave, right? So now what it will do, this setup file, it don't know the GUI. Even Windows machine also cannot understand the GUI. This setup file will, based on the options we have selected, it will create a query to install the SQL server. That query will be stored in the configuration file.ini. When I click install button, this file will be called into the command prompt, and whatever inputs are there in this file, it will install based on this file, guys. This is called configuration file.ini, ini based installation and all. So don't think I can install SQL Server only one way. I can install SQL Server in multiple ways. I can use GUI to install SQL Server. I can use command prompt to install SQL Server. I can use PowerShell to install SQL Server. I can use ini file to install SQL Server. I can use slipstream method. I can use sysprep method. So 6 methods are there to install SQL Server. So, but we don't follow these methods, we'll follow only GUI method in the organization. If you are interested, what are those methods, how to use those methods, go to our channel, go to the old videos. I created lot of videos, okay, on this setup and all, on these types of installations and all. You can watch it. There is no use, no one will ask in the entry also. They don't even ask you, hey, install using GUI method or else CUI method, whichever method is comfortable to you. We can use that method to install. So 99.99% will use GUI method to install SQL Server. Click on install button, that's it. Okay, click on install button. So now SQL Server installation is going to be started. It will take 15 to 20 minutes to complete the installation. So once the installation is done, then we have to install. This is the server, right? So every application will have client server architecture. So server we installed, so we have to install client, right? So after the installation of the SQL Server, we'll install the client, guys. The client is Management Studio. So after the installation of SQL Server, we'll install Management Studio, guys, to connect to the SQL Server. Client is one tool which will help you to connect to the servers, guys. Okay. Chalo. That's it. So let's wait for the installation, guys, to complete. So if you have any questions, you can ask, guys. Otherwise, I'll wait until the installation is going to be completed. Then if time is there, I'll install SSMS also.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, you told in batch 48, VirtualBox 7.06 is installed, but now batch 49 you told key 6.1 will be installed. Which one will be installed, sir? I will get confused.
Anything you can install, whichever is comfortable. 6th version you can install. Okay,
6.1.
nothing to worry. Yeah, 6.0, anything you can install. 6 dot you can install anything, no issues. We don't install 7 dot series. Okay, 7 dot series will create some problems. So 6 dot you can install.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, extension INI in INI. I'll tell you, okay, what is INI. Not instant file initialization, but there is a separate INI is there, a dot INI. go to our channel, you can see, if you go back to the channel, there you
Okay.
can see lot of videos, okay, like how
Okay.
to simply type like this. Let me show you that as well. And
Yeah, I'm more interested, like if I have to be install the SQL Server on many clients or many other like servers, so what method we should follow?
we can use slipstream sysprep method, okay. So many clients means you have to go for PowerShell script, like
Yeah,
automation kind of thing you have to
yeah.
use.
Is there
PowerShell will
anything, Shanmugh, for about the bootstrapper?
bootstrap.
Yeah, because like people use bootstrap to install the SQL Server configurations on so many clients or so many many servers, if there are many
Bootstrap,
servers.
I heard that one, but I never used that option. So
Okay.
we discussed in our channel, we discussed about INI based installation. Just type INI based. Using INI file, you can install the SQL Server. INI installation. Just INI you can
Okay.
type. Okay, so you can see some INI based installation videos and all. See,
Okay.
install SQL Server 2005 using INI file. Install SQL Server 2005 using INI file. So you can see the INI based installation and command prompt installation you can see here.
Okay.
So go through the sysprep method. Okay, sysprep we can install multiple instances at a time. Okay,
Okay.
sysprep method, sysprep installation,
Okay.
introduction to sysprep installation. Slipstream installation is also there. We can install SQL Server and the updates at a time. That is called
Okay.
slipstream installation. So we can see advanced slipstream installation, slipstream installation. We can see multiple methods, guys. Okay, so there are different methods are there. Using these methods, you can install. Bootstrap, I
Okay.
heard that one, but I never used that option.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I will go
Just go
through
through it.
that videos,
Yes,
and
yes.
if anything, so I will revert you back for that.
Sure, sure, sure.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem. Others.
Hello. Yeah, hi Shanmugh. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Romeo. Tell me.
Yeah. So no, last time as you know, you have sent some email no on related to Windows Server installations and all. So I don't get any email. So can you please help me to get a link to a WhatsApp or email ID?
You're asking about softwares?
Yeah, that's about the softwares, right?
I'm sure that you got it. Okay, so check in the spam, okay?
No, actually, I think no. I
Chanakya,
just only joined the class
Chanakya,
by.
you will get it after the class.
Yeah, sure.
No, not you.
Thank you.
Chanakya, right? Who is this Chanakya, na? Romeo, na?
Fine, sir.
Romeo, okay, please check the
Yeah,
spam folder. 99% it will be there in the spam only. Just check it, okay? If not, let me know again. I will
okay.
send it, okay? No issues.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
It's almost completed, guys. So once done, we'll install SSMS also. So in the meantime, let's download SSMS, guys. How to download SSMS? It's very easy. So you can go to the Google, okay? You can open this Google. Machine became slow, guys. Right. So download SSMS. Download SSMS. Okay. 2019 or anything you can use. Okay. So what is this SSMS, guys? SSMS is nothing but SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, Management Studio. So every application will have client server architecture. Client server architecture, guys. Every application will have client server architecture. Okay. So we have installed the server, right? So if I want to connect to the server, I should have one client, right? So that client is called SSMS. Using SSMS, I can connect to the existing instance. So SSMS is a tool. Using this tool, we can connect to the SQL servers. So up to SQL Server 2014. Okay, SSMS is part of the installation, is part of the features. Okay, so you have to select that feature during the installation, like management tools feature will be there. So you have to select this management tools during installation. So SSMS will be installed automatically. But from 2016 onwards, SSMS is separated, guys. We have to, after installation of SQL Server, we have to download the SSMS separately, and then we have to install the SSMS. Then only you can connect to the SQL Server. So now we are using SQL 2022, right? That means I have to download SSMS separately. Go to Google, type download SSMS, and you can go to this Microsoft website. You can see, guys, listen carefully while downloading anything. Check the website name. Don't download from other third-party softwares and all. This is Microsoft.com website, so you can aramse download it blindly. You can download, no issues. But while downloading from third-party websites, please be careful, guys. Okay. So now you can see free download SQL Server Management Studio 19.0.2. So if you click on this, automatically download will start, guys, and you can download this. You can copy this software to the server, and then you can install the Management Studio. Installing Management Studio is very simple, guys. Just open the setup file and click on install button. That's it. So now it just started downloading. Once the download is completed, then I'll copy this file to the Windows machine, this server, then I'll install the SSMS, guys. Without SSMS, can I connect to the SQL server?
No.
No, not possible.
Uh,
No or yes? Yes or no?
maybe by command line, I think we can.
Not maybe. Why maybe? Yesterday or I guess yesterday, no, not yesterday. Last weekend, we discussed it, right? How to connect to the SQL server using command prompt. Right?
Right,
So
right.
using
Yes, we
command
can.
prompt also we can connect to the SQL server, but it's not so user friendly. We have to learn all the commands for that. So that's why we use SSMS. SSMS is a GUI option, very user friendly. Okay? What happened? What happened?
Right.
It's okay. It's okay. Right. So now the installation is succeeded, guys, and make sure all the components are successfully installed. If all the components are installed and this database engine is failed, so the installation is failed, guys. Okay, make sure all the components are successfully installed, not even single component, guys. All components has to be successfully installed, and you can see success message here, installed successfully. In case of any issues, any errors, where to check? Interview question. During the installation or after the installation?
Path.
Yes,
In
after the
pathway.
installation, yes. After the installation, if the SQL Server installation is failed, where to check it? Okay, we have an option called summary.txt file. Where I can get that summary.txt file? We can see here summary log has been saved to the following location. In C program files, Microsoft SQL Server under 160 folder, setup bootstrap folder is created. In that log folder is created. In that a folder with the date and timestamp, today's date 2023-04-2022, just 22, today's date, and time 1939 means 7:39. So this file is created. If you open this file, you can see whether installation is succeeded or passed, guys. Succeeded or failed, you can see. Final result passed means SQL Server installation is successfully completed. And what and all components installed, you can see. If any issue is there, you can see the errors in this file. Okay. So where to check the installation errors, guys? In the summary.txt file, we can check the installation related errors and all. Bye. Right? Any questions, guys? What is the status of SSMS? Yes, it was downloaded. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this downloads. I'll copy this SSMS file from my SQL server, copy, and go to the server, and I'm going to close the setup file. Don't need it. Installation is succeeded, right? You can close this one as well. I'm going to copy this to my desktop, paste it. See here, earlier only 160 folder is there. Now if you see here, MS SQL 16.MS SQL server is created, and if you go inside the 160 folder, if you go inside setup bootstrap folder, if you go inside log folder, if you go inside date and timestamp folder, there you can see summary.txt file. Summary.txt file. See, summary.txt file with instance name. If you don't see any errors here, we have one more file called detail.txt. So they will ask you in the interview if the installation errors are there, where to check it, how to check it. So first we'll check summary.txt file in the setup bootstrap folder. If you don't see anything in the summary.txt file, we can use detail.txt file to see the detail logs. So in this big file, how to check the errors, guys? How to check the errors? Very big file. So you have to simply use Ctrl F, and you have to check with the failed option. You have to check with the error option. So like that you have to check, guys. Okay. So based on that you can find out the errors. Don't think like failed means something is failed. No, not like this. You can see specific components. Okay. And if you see error and all, error reporting, you will get it. So that doesn't mean errors are there. That doesn't mean errors are there. Okay. Error reporting, there is a file called error reporting file. So it is going to enable that error reporting file and all. Like this you have to check in the detail.txt file. Right, now I just copied SSMS to the desktop, right? Okay, it is still copying, let it be.
Shanmugh, I have one question here.
Yes, please.
Do we have any correlation between the SSMS version and the SQL Server version?
There is a separate class on SSMS. Tomorrow I'll tell you about SSMS and all. There are some challenges with SSMS, okay? There are some dependencies. Everything we'll discuss during tomorrow's session, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. The answer is no. Straightforward answer is no. But yes, there are small challenges are there that will be discussed tomorrow. Okay.
I'm just, I need to know, like, if I'm going to upgrade my SQL Server, if I'm in 2016 and I'm going for the 2019,
okay,
and if I have the not the latest version onto that client, so what will happen? It will allow.
See, you can still use SQL Server. You can use Management Studio to connect to any version of the SQL Server. Okay, so but there are some challenges, like for example, if SSMS is higher version, and if you are connecting to the lower version SQL Server, okay,
Okay.
even though imagine SQL Server 2019 is there, okay, so this 2019 SQL Server you connected in SQL Server 2014 SSMS.
Okay.
So whatever new features are there, those new features you cannot see 2014 SSMS in the 2014 SSMS.
Okay. Okay.
That is
So
the
what
main
do you
challenge.
think, like, if I'm doing so, the installation will be failed or error?
Nothing. Installation will be succeeded. Only challenge is always use latest version of SSMS.
Okay.
Okay, to connect to all the instances, all versions. But if you use old SSMS and if you are connected to the new SQL Server, if SSMS version is lower version, if you are connected to the higher version features you cannot see lower version SSMS. That is the main drawback.
Okay. Okay, got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
no problem. Right, so let's install this SSMS, guys. How to install? Right click on the setup file, run as administrator. So generally it won't allow us. Why it won't allow us? Can anyone tell me? Let me close this installation center. Installation is done, right? I am closing this. Sorry. So what we have to do after SQL Server installation? Before and after SQL Server installation, what we have to do?
Restart.
I have to restart the Windows machine. Otherwise, other softwares or other changes and all they cannot, okay, like take effect, guys. So we can install it. Let's install first, then we can restart the Windows machine. Just click on install button. That's it. Installation of SSMS is very simple. No other options you can see, only install button. Click on install button. Sometimes if you see restart button, that means it is waiting for the restart. Restart the Windows machine and try installing SSMS again. That's it, guys. This is how we'll install SSMS. It will take 10 minutes like that. Okay, so let's wait for that time, and once that is done, then I'll show you the SSMS. I'll open SSMS and then we'll close the session for today. Okay.
Yeah, Sharmik, I have a query here.
Yes, tell me.
See, SSMS is client, as you mentioned, right? And
Yes.
this will be installed on our local system or
Yeah, you can do
the
that. You can do that. Client you can install anywhere, guys. Generally in the organization, in the local, in the developer's laptop, will install SSMS only. Servers will be somewhere. It might be in US, UK, Singapore, anywhere it will be. But will install only SSMS in the developers' laptops. So they will use this SSMS, and using this SSMS, they can connect to the server from any location, guys. Okay.
clear, Sharmik. And one more thing, I'm not clear. Maybe this topic may cover later, and I don't know. But we have time, 5 minutes, right?
Yes.
Could you please explain me about data center and server and what is database? The difference between these
Will
three.
be discussed during database concept. Okay.
Oh,
So there is
okay.
a separate class on that. What is database? What it will do. So during that we'll discuss. We'll go step by step. Okay. Now you can understand. You are a techie. Okay. So beginners are there, right? So for them they cannot understand these things at this moment. Slowly we'll go step by step. Okay.
Sharma sir, there is one question.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Like it's a question from the previous part. So when we installed our Windows server on this on our VM, then you said the first thing is we have to install the .NET framework, right?
Yes.
So in that for that you used the service manager, and from there when you go further next and then There's a
Correct.
file you attach there, right?
Yes, correct.
That file which you attach there, that file, I can't understand. Is that file is our Windows Server file or
That is
attached as
Windows
dot?
Server. That is Windows Server file. So in
Okay, like
Windows Server operating system, so Windows
right,
Server operating system is already attached in the D drive, right? So that's why I
right.
changed the path to D colon backslash sources
Okay,
folder. In that
right.
SXES folder will be there. In that
Hmm.
folder, .NET Framework support files will be there. Using that path, it is going to install .NET Framework. So it's the part of Windows operating system file only.
Makes sense. That means we have to only make that path by our own, but it will
Correct.
be actually taking the same file, like window file which you
Correct.
say.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's fine. That means we're not expecting that separate the .NET framework
No,
file
no,
with the.
no.
Okay,
No need
clear.
to again download it separately. It will be there in the operating system file itself.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, Shanmugh.
Yes, please.
See, as you mentioned that not copy any software or any file from local desktop using home version of Windows.
Yes, using home version of.
Yes, yes, I'm using Windows 11 Home OS.
Okay.
So I'm unable to copy paste this software, right?
Yes, correct. Okay, you cannot copy paste, guys. Those who are able to connect to the server remotely, they can copy paste it from your local laptop to the server. Okay, so
So
if you are unable to connect to the server remotely, you cannot do copy paste. Check whether you are able to download it directly, or else I gave you a software links, right? In that software links, there is a file called SSMS ISO, like how SQL Server ISO is there, Windows ISO is there. I gave you SSMS ISO also. You can simply go to Oracle VirtualBox Manager and you can attach that Oracle SSMS ISO, guys. That's it. Okay, once you downloaded SSMS ISO, you can just go to here. You can just go to storage, replace the SQL Server file with the SSMS ISO file. That's it. Okay, go to storage. Here, select this one. Choose SSMS ISO. Okay, like this it will be there. Choose it. If you don't download it. You can use the software links. There you can see SSMS ISO file. From that you can download and you can install. Okay. Clear? Is it clear? It's almost completed, guys. 2 minutes. Yeah, we'll close the session. Yeah. Okay. So you can see all specified components have been successfully installed. That's it. Okay. So you have to restart the Windows server after installation. So I'm going to restart it now. Okay. Or else I'll stop now. Tomorrow I'm going to start it again. So if you want to restart, you know, right, how to restart. Just click on power button, restart, and you can use this any planned option you can use and continue, guys. Restart anyway. That's it. In this way you can restart the server. Okay. When you restart, RDP will be closed. Again, you have to connect to the server remotely. Chalo. That's it, guys. Tomorrow morning we'll discuss. We'll connect at 7 a.m. IST with same meeting link, and we'll discuss about SSMS. What is SSMS? How to use SSMS and all. So then we'll continue the sessions. Okay. Chalo, guys. Any questions? Any doubts? Or we are good to close the session?
Yeah,
Yes, please.
I have a question. Is SSMS Management Studio, is it mandatory to install in server or it's an optional?
It's mandatory. You should install.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mandatory. It's not optional.
So only I mean, like in the developers, they can install just SSMS, not database engine, right? To access the database.
See, in the client laptops will use only SSMS. We don't install servers in the client laptops. In the servers, we'll use SQL servers. We'll install SQL servers. In the servers, in the Windows servers, we'll install SQL servers. And generally, if DBAs are having any issue, or if we want to run any scripts and all, we should have one client, right? So SSMS also will install in each and every Windows server. It's mandatory to install. But in the client laptop, we'll install only SSMS. We don't install any SQL server.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys, please? And sometimes I'm going to miss the messages, guys. I'll disable the this one chart, so that's why I cannot see it. We need to restart. SMS is not required to install SQL server. SSMS is not required to install in server 2016 version. We don't to install SSMS, right? No, Sanjay, we have to install SSMS from 2016 onwards. Before 2016, like up to 2014, no need to install SSMS. You have to choose one option called management tools in the shared features. Automatically it will install SSMS. Okay. Need to drop. Thanks. Okay. Yes, Sanjay, it's coming with one of the components along with database engine. Okay. Bob, yes, we can install within server as well. Yes. Urban, yes, it can be installed. Yes, that's it, guys. Okay. So tomorrow we'll connect and we'll discuss other things. Thank you, guys. Good night. Good day. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Yes.